Hey everybody, and welcome to Farmlands. We are going to be taking part in the competitive one tile challenge. Even though we're not on that server, we're going to do it on our own on Farm Plot 35. I thought it'd be kind of fun. If you are not familiar with it, it is a competitive between Zorch Farming, who brought us the one tile challenge, as well as Crust2 and Rusty Money Gaming. Now, what they are given to start with is $500,000 with a $500,000 loan. They get one plot of land, and they have to have the MB track, Mercedes MB track. I think it's the 900. I don't have the DLC for the Mercedes pack, so I do have this mod that I'm just going to use instead. They also have the double bar mower and this trailer, as well as this style of shed. There's one of three. I think there's a white one, a red one, and a natural aged barnwood style. And I chose the red just because they all had already done their own thing with the barnwood style. And quite frankly, I like to be different. So how are we going to be different? I'm going to do something I've never done before. And I'm going to put something in that I like to do animals, but I have never have I ever put in a horse stall. So I think that's what we're going to start with, is horses. It's saying I can't place item here. So I'm trying to figure out where I can place the item. One thing I did for myself was I wanted to have a I was hopeful to have a track of land or a two track to my land. All right. So I do have that. I'm just trying to figure out how I can place this and be somewhat happy. Kind of like that. So I've just got to figure out where I can place this to get it. I might be a little too far back with my shed, so I might have to move that for some reason. No, I do not want to customize. I feel like that is plenty. Yes, I would like to plant the meadow. All right. So yeah, we've got step one. Now, you might say, how else are we going to be different? Well, I am going all in on animals. I mean, I will still have farmland and all the rest of it, but I am definitely going all in on animals. Never have I ever gone to this extreme with it, wanting to do animals. So what animals are we doing? Obviously, we're doing horses. We're going to be adding sheep, and we are also going to have beef cows. So let's go ahead and add our other necessary items. Now, I've also turned off extreme sales, so I won't have an unlimited amount or whatever it is, like 60 options of items for sale. It's just not really realistic or fair. So the next item we're going to put in, I just want to figure out which barn would be ideal. Just looking to see what we have. So that is, got a milk parlor. Holds 60 cows. This one requires this one might be the one I want. Thinking this is the one I want. And we're gonna plop it right there. No, I do not. Yes, I do. All right. So we have got our cattle barn. We've got horses. Don't have any way of getting around, so we're gonna put in our yard. And let's see what we got here. Just want to bring that up to the side and along the front. And we'll just clean that up as well. Alright, so we've got our yard started. Now, some of the other things I'm going to need are actually quite standard. I'm just looking for, yeah. We can just tidy that up. Okay, so yeah, we've got one more thing to add for animals at the moment, and that will be sheep. Now, just to ensure that I have enough space. No, I don't want to customize. Yes, I would like a pasture planted. I am going to, because I want to put in a dryer pole and a silage pole. If I can find it. I thought it was in here. Maybe it's in here. Okay. Now, I just want to put some dirt in place. And this will all right. So, if you guys want to take a quick peek at what we've got going on here. There. So those are our pasture areas. And I am just going to run this. Oh, it's not going that way. All right. That kind of just gives us an outline of where our items are. Yes, I do have a 2-track that I've put in here, taking me to that. And that's just because that's what I wanted. Now, the big thing is where am I going to put fields and what am I going to be putting in? Well, obviously, I'm going to need grass. I'm going to need oats. So those are going to be the first 2 things that I am going to probably look to add. And yeah. So what we're going to want to do is I'm going to need to get some grass, which, hey, we've got that ability. And then let's see what we've got for equipment for sale. Nothing that I'm going to worry about right now. Let's go ahead, cut some grass. Now, how is our map looking? Kind of thinking. I think I'm just going to take this down to the end. Turn it around. And we're gonna head this way. I think I'm just gonna try and make this a rectangular shape. Gonna fit into what we've got going on here. And just to, all right, let's see here. Alright, that'll give us an outline to work with. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to pick all this stuff up. That's on my list of things I need to get, as is a plow, seeder, and a few other devices. I think I'll start off with 2 horses and probably like 10 cattle. I know that my barn can have way more than that. However, I have to be able to feed them. I currently have no way of picking anything up to do that. Now I do have a lot of mods downloaded. I am also going to try and stay clear of any of the Unreal OP style mods, if I can at all. So I will be doing my very best for that, you guys. If you see something that I'm doing that shouldn't be, call me out in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. But I am going to go ahead and be quiet while we get this mowed. Okay guys, we are just finishing up the first patch of mowing that we plan to do. We'll be doing lots more mowing as time goes on. I do want to clear this entire thing off before I plow it all under. That way I can ensure that I have enough grass and hay, hopefully just to fill everything. I want to have everything stock full before I only have the one field. But as it is, go ahead and park this up here. I want to start buying equipment before it gets too far along here. So let's go ahead and start looking at what we need. First things first, let's see what I need for so food, water, straw, manure, slurry, metal. Okay, so I don't have to worry about too much in this one. I do have to worry about water. That's all right. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna buy our first group of cows. And I'm just gonna start with 25. That'll be a big chunk of money. So 25 cows in there. All right, I don't have to get fancy with the food either, you guys. I only need silage if I was making milk. So I can create silage and sell it. But next thing we got to do is we got to find some equipment. First things first, let's get our field prep equipment. So we're going to need a plow. And I think we're going to go with this one here, the Lizard. And you know what, let's just go ahead and buy. Awesome. Next, we're going to need I'd like a seeder, but I also like a planter, so I have to kind of think about that. Yeah. All right, so let's just go and deal with the seeder first and foremost. So seed drill, that one is 85 horse, which we don't quite have. It's 3 meters wide, it's 10,000. We have the Case and the John Deere, the Massey. You know, I mean, we should be saving our money and just going with this, but I think I'm going to go buy the Massey just to be different. We'll go with 10 miles an hour. It's almost like the John Deere and Case, and we'll make it the Valtra. Can we change the colors of the rims? Yeah, I think we'll go with that one. So let's go ahead and we'll buy that one. All right, next thing we're gonna need is a spreader. Kind of leaning towards this one. Um, go with the John Deere one so that matches a little bit better. All right, we'll go ahead, we'll buy that. Okay. Next, I would like a windrow. Now I don't want to go too expensive and too big because eventually I'm only going to have the one field, so I don't feel like I need to go crazy. This one's 4.3 and it only costs 2,500. It's probably the way to go. This one is 4.7 and it's 9,000. We're just going to go with this one. All right, we'll go with red and yellow. Perfect. And we will run it at 10. Is there a difference on the design? Okay, so we'll buy that. All right, so now we have that. We still need a way to pick up. So what kind of forage wagon should we go with? Kind of thinking this one. I mean, it's 38,000. It's a big chunk of our remaining money. I think that's the way to go. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to drop this here. I still have not bought horses, a water trailer, which I need to get a water trailer. Let's grab that quick. All right, what do we have for trailers? 4,500 for 5,000 liters. I think that would be a good one. Yeah, I kind of like that. And I like that as well. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll buy that one, 4,500. So we've got our water tank. I don't have a water source. Well, I mean, there is a water source. I can get it. But for now, let's just see what we can bring back over to the farm. Now, I just need to get them some water. If I need to, I can pick up a tedder, but I did get the dryer pole so that I didn't have to get a tedder. Kind of my thought process there. And if I wanted to do silage, I could do that too. Like I said, my first goal will be filling up every single pen that I have 100% with food, and worrying about anything else after that. So let's go ahead and take a minute and get this all windrowed up. Alright, you guys, I think we can go ahead and do a pickup of all this grass. The reason I wanted this space is because I wanted to keep it somewhat near and have something kind of fit into this space here. And we're going to make that into our long-term grass field. Now I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place my rake. Now the other thing that I'm going to be doing today is beyond picking this up, I'm going to be purchasing a couple of horses as well as a few sheep, and then I'm probably going to start cutting more grass so that I am able to place my remaining fields. What fields are we going to be planting? I don't really know. I think one important field will be oats, but it doesn't have to be big. So just, you know, when I do plant it and we're working it and you're like, that's a tiny field, just remember I'm only doing oats to feed to the horses. The straw is just kind of a second-hand thing that we're going to be getting. Now the other types of fields that I think we want are going to be obviously a grass field, which is going to be right here. This is going to be our long-term grass field. I think it's going to be large enough to keep our cows and sheep and horses in feed long term. So then that means I have quite a large area to fill in for alternate fields. Now I'm thinking about making my oat field large enough that, you know, every other year at most is when I'm going to be worrying about planting more oats. I don't think I really need to go with that many oats. What do you guys think? For the first year or so, though, I am going to be feeding my horses primarily hay. So unless I can afford to maybe buy a bag of oats, which I might just do that anyways. I'll have to see how much they are. But if it's like $3,000, I'm kinda, I don't know. I might have to just do it. So while we're running through on this pickup, let's take a quick peek at the price of oats. Well, $1,400, so I can probably get a bag. I think it's going to cost about $2,000 to get a couple of horses, so that doesn't leave a lot. I'm probably going to have to sell some of the grass to get the sheep. But let's go fill up the sheep pen first, and I can put the remainder of the grass into the pole for drying into hay. I'm not sure how much this actually takes. Only 13,000. Alright, let's jump over here and get started on Alright, now let's keep picking up more and seeing where that's going to leave us. Okay guys, we have got some hay in the horse paddock. We've also got quite a lot of grass in here for the cows, which I am happy about. And I've got about 20,000 liters of water. And finally we have our sheep pen over here that is currently empty of any animals. So let's go ahead, get our horses. And we will go ahead and we're going to get a we're going to get one Seal Brown, which is $800. And then we are going to get, I don't want a bay or a chestnut. I do like the Palomino, but I think we're going to go with a gray. And those are our two horses. I haven't named them, so why don't you guys give me some ideas in the comments on the names. Alright, so we've got two horses. And then we have to get our sheep. So let's go ahead and do that quick. Alright, so we got $4,000. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get the young ones. We don't need them to be earning us money anytime right at the moment. We're going to go with 15 because that will be enough for now. And look at the little guys. So yeah, we have marked off this space here as well. We have a 2-track. I want to make this into my initial oat field. And then we will probably make 2 more fields over here. And we will next time go ahead and probably put in our grass field, and then I think I'm going to put in a wheat field. I haven't 100% decided, but I thought wheat would be a good one. I'm not sure what we would want for our final field, but I think wheat. I have considered canola. I can't plant the wheat until September, so I might create a field of canola, and then a field of wheat. And that will be kind of where we're sitting at. I think wheat, canola, this will be oats. It doesn't have to be a big field of oats. It just has to be enough to give to our horses. And then obviously we will do a grass field planting over behind the barn here, and that's going to be for feeding all of our animals. Yeah, I think that's a good place to end this episode, and I do hope you guys do this too, because I'm sure that Zorch, Crustu, and Rusty Money are all very reasonable, and would love to see what you guys have to add to the contest. So go ahead and like, subscribe, share, all those things. Please leave me some comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about the farm as it is right now, and we will see you guys again next time on the Farmlands One Tile Challenge. Have a good one, guys.